Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick chat. Today on the quick chat, I want to talk about Shawnee O'Neal and her ex-husband, Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, because he ended up doing an interview or whatever. And so did she. Okay. He pretty much referred to himself as a DICK head. Okay. Um, and I believe it could have possibly, I believe he said this in past interviews or whatnot, but it's resurfacing because y'all know that Shawnee is or has already gotten married to the Pastor Keion, and they do have a show. And I'm actually going to talk about a few things that I saw on the show. We're going to get into that, but I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about Shaquille O'Neal and Shawnee O'Neal. First of all, shout out to RRG. I believe it's called Real Reality Gossip. When I tell you I love their channel, like, girl, I love it. Okay. Because it was there where I learned that one of Shawnee's sons does not belong to Shaquille O'Neal. And I'm still kind of questioning that. But when I was reading one of the articles that Shawnee, that was out here, and I think it was I can't remember, it could have been page 6, probably was page 6 that I was reading. They were saying in the article that Shawnee has 4 children with Shaquille, but keep in mind Shawnee has 5 children. So RRG were the first ones that I heard that she was like married before Shaquille O'Neal, and then she was pregnant, and they were saying that her oldest son does not belong to Shaquille O'Neal, even though he looks just like all of his siblings. So it looks like he is indeed that man's child, but I don't know. But I just thought that was interesting because when I was looking at the article, they had a picture of all of Shawnee's children except for him, I believe. And then in the caption, it says Shawnee has 4 children with Shaquille. And I'm like, girl, I never knew this. I was today or actually a few weeks old when I learned that. That information. But I mean, girl, the boy looks just like him too. I mean, like, I ain't gonna say he looks just like him, but he looks just like his other siblings that look, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, girl, it don't matter. If that's who his daddy is, girl, let that man be his daddy, whatever. Okay. So, anywho, let's get into it. So, Shaquille O'Neal admits that he was the reason for his marriage, okay, to end when it came down to he and Shawnee. Okay, he was the reason that it ended because he was out here cheating. And the first thing that came to my mind was, duh, America knows this. America knows this. Duh, we knew it was your fault. You was in the NBA. A lot of y'all men was up to no good and still up to no good over there in the NBA. So we not shocked, we not surprised by it at all. But something was said on her show that was really interesting because I didn't know she was getting blamed a lot when it came down to the divorce. And I said, huh, very interesting because I didn't know that. I thought it was always clear that it was his fault, but she also was getting called out. Maybe those were Shaquille fans, but let's keep going. So he spoke on his marriage to Shawnee that ended in divorce in 2011 after he cheated. He says he was a DICK head. He says, matter of factly, you don't know how good you got something till it's gone. Sometimes when you live that double life, you get caught up. And he goes on to say, I'm not going to say it was her. I will say that it was all me. And that's duh. This lady done had all them kids by you. She was too busy being a mama at the house for her to be running out here, you know what I'm saying, doing anything else. Okay, she was just too busy, too preoccupied. But I do have a question. Why is we caring now about what this man has to say about blaming himself or whatever after this lady done got engaged and about to get married? Okay. Why? Why do we care now what he's got to say when this lady done finally found somebody that's interested in her to marry her and move on? Like, why y'all bringing the conversation back up now? But anyway, so Shawnee, of course, she got a chance to speak on this in an interview. And with Shawnee, it says Shawnee, of course, spoke on this in an interview because of her new show that just dropped. Okay, I believe it's called Shawnee and Keion. I can't even think of the name of the doggone show, y'all. Let me see. I want to make sure that I don't even have the name of the show in front of me, but I want to see what the name of the show is because I definitely got a chance to check it out to see what it was giving. It's called Shawnee and Keon's Destination I Do. Okay. So anyway, let's keep going. All right. Shawnee says, I am happy that he's able to share his truth as she refers to Shaquille O'Neal. Okay. She's happy that he's able to share his truth of how he feels. She says, I don't really have an opinion on it. That was so long ago. I'm in a new place in my life. What he needs to share for his truth is his truth, and it is what it is. Okay. She says, I don't need that validation. I'm pretty confident in who I am and what I've done and what I've accomplished and what I've worked on to better myself. I don't need somebody else's validation to put my chest out. I feel best right now in life. Okay, that's what Shawnee said. Okay, so she don't really care too much about what that man got going on. I hate to say it. I don't blame Shawnee. Like, it don't matter. Why y'all even bringing this up in the interview? Child, I'm trying to talk about the new man that I'm about to marry. Why is we focused on the old man? Unless you could have asked about my old man and his kids or something like that. Okay, then maybe I answer your question when it comes to that. But as far as me and him, I don't give a damn what the hell he over there talking about. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I do wonder what Keion's thoughts. Like, Keion probably doesn't watch Basketball Wives or whatever, but I do wonder, what does Keion think? I don't know if that's going to be addressed on the episode, when people give a Shawnee a lot of flack and go in on Shawnee because of her show Basketball Wives. I wonder what his thoughts or his response is to that. Or when people reflect back to how she handled the situation with OG, which was extremely poor as a boss. You know what I'm saying? I just wonder, what his thoughts are. And I also wonder how the congregation was able to receive Shawnee, knowing that the congregation, I'm sure majority of y'all probably watched the lady show. So I wonder how she was well received or not well received when it came down to the congregation. Okay, so let's keep going. She also went on to speak on not getting a proper proposal from Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, which is interesting because it's like, you don't want to talk about Shaquille O'Neal. You feel like that's so long ago, but then you bring up the fact that you didn't get a proper proposal when it came down to him, right? She says, but she got one when it came to Keion. She never got a proper proposal when it came to Shaquille O'Neal. It was pretty much just like, hey, you want to do this marriage thing? All right, babe, let's go do it or whatever. Okay. She says, I never got proposed to, and he, meaning Keion, proposed to me. I got asked to be married, but I wasn't proposed to. She says, like a man bending down on one knee with his hand in the air with a ring, I never experienced that. She never experienced it until Keion came along, okay? Now, Shawnee's new show has dropped, and I decided that I was going to check out an episode. Okay, I was watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. I believe I had checked out Real Housewives of Potomac at the time, and then I said, "Oh, okay. I guess let me just check this out and see what it's giving real quick, like because I already knew I wanted to touch on the Shaquille O'Neal and Shawnee conversation in their interviews because I was just wondering, why is this even a thing? Whether I like the lady or I don't like the lady, or it's not really that I don't like Shawnee. It's just how she handled the situation with OG, and I did not like how she handled that. So regardless of how I felt about that, at the end of the day, that's her ex-husband. Like, why is y'all asking this lady about this man when y'all see she finna go get married to somebody else? Like, why are we doing that? But anyway, I knew I was going to talk about that, so I wanted to check out the show to see what was going on. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because when she mentioned that she received a lot of flack behind their divorce, I said that's interesting because I didn't know that, especially when he said he accepts full responsibility. Okay, so let's get into it. Shawnee is getting ready to be a first lady. Of course, she's preparing for the wedding. But what's really sad is that her dad actually passed away 2 months prior. Really extremely sad, sad for her, and very sad for her mom. I personally feel, because your mama knew your daddy way before you did, clearly, and she's been with him all this time. So now she's alone. Like, I couldn't imagine what that life transition is like, being an elder at that age and you losing your partner that you've been with for God knows how many decades of your life, and they're no longer here. I can only imagine what goes through their head when they start to think about their own life. Like, are they going to be next? What's what? I don't know what they think of in that time, but I'm sure it can be very, very lonely. Okay. So that's sad for her. So now she's at a place of trying to figure out who's gonna walk her down the aisle because her dad is not here to do it. Now I must say her oldest son definitely had me chuckling. I'm not even gonna hold you, because he wants to be the person to walk her down the aisle, and I couldn't even be mad at that, because for me, I was like, yo, that is your oldest son. He was with you before anybody. So just let your oldest son do it. Right. And then you could just share a dance with your other boys individually at your reception. Right. Or this is the other thing. So I had went to a wedding like in September, and I know the young lady walked from one side of the area all the way around to come to where we were. So maybe she could have gotten escorted by her two younger sons all the way to the aisle part, and then her oldest son could take her by the arm and then walk her to give her away to the final guy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, maybe it could have been something like that, but I don't know, girl. I might check out episode 2. I don't know. We gonna see. I don't know. All right. I don't know. I just had to check this out, real quick, like, because I was going to bring this story to y'all. All right. Now, Shawnee does go dress shopping with some of her good friends, and guess who does show up? Miss Evelyn Lozada. Now, what I did not like about Evelyn Lozada showing up was her attire. I was like, why are you dressed like you're coming to a funeral? She comes in there with her church hat and everything and say, oh my God, I'm about to meet the first lady. So I had to come in here and make sure I was in tip top shape, X, Y, Z. And I said, yeah, but it's giving shade a bit to me because you're coming in there dressed in all black. What? Like, is this subliminal shade or something like that? Or are you mourning the fact that your homegirl gonna go off and get married? Do you feel like she's gonna leave you or something? Like, why are you coming in there in all black? But whatever, girl. That's what she did. It is what it is, okay? So yeah, she was coming in like she was going to a funeral or something. I was like, girl, what is going on? But anyway, all right. So Shawnee invited Shaq to her wedding. Okay, they did have a conversation briefly. She did invite him to the wedding, but she really don't want him to go for real, for real. So I think Shaq told her no, that's her moment. So he's not gonna attend the wedding or anything like that. Okay. Um, Evelyn spoke on Shaq taking responsibility, which was interesting because it was perfect timing with the knowing that he had already accepted responsibility or whatever from what I read. And so Shawnee says that she appreciates him taking that responsibility because when they were going through a divorce, she was accused of a lot of stuff. She says that she was accused of stealing money and things like that. And I never knew this. I never knew that lady was being accused of stealing none of his money or anything. If anything, it really do seem like Shaq would have just gave it to her. So did she really have to steal it? She got damn near 4, 5 kids. And honestly, how some judges used to do, I don't know if they still do that. But if Shaq assumed the responsibility of her oldest son, let's say, I don't know if that's his or not. This is according to RRG and page 6 that it appears her oldest son is not his. But let's say that he's not, right? And Shaq assumed the full responsibility of that child, some judges would still make him pay child support for that child. Okay. I know they used to do that. I'm not sure if that's something they still do today. But, with that being said, if she's getting money for those children, 4 or 5 of them, and then on top of alimony, I don't know if she got that or not. Why the hell would she need to really steal any of his money for real? And you know what? It was so interesting that I listened to RRG because I'm like, I've always thought that Shawnee and Shaquille were high school sweethearts or something, or college sweethearts. And I could not have been so wrong. They met later on. They met later on. I did not know that. I always thought that they probably knew each other when they were younger. And girl, look at that. Ain't that something? Okay. Ain't that cute? But it's wrong. Okay. Let's keep going. Shawnee's mom doesn't want to be affiliated with no cameras. Don't bring no cameras around my house, girl. You know how I feel about that stuff. I don't do that. Okay. So Shawnee goes, she sees her mom alone. What she learns, because they call her mom dear, her mama not coming to the wedding. All right. She already got a whole lot going on. I feel like the neighbors trying to be in her business, this, that, and the other. Her husband and passed. I don't think she in a space where she trying to entertain nobody or nothing. I'm sure she adores her daughter, but she just not gonna go fly nowhere. Okay. And just sit over there and watch her daughter get married. I can't really say that the mama is right or wrong on that. If this is Shawnee's third marriage, and this is according to RRG, if this is indeed her third marriage, then maybe her mama feel like, girl, I done seen you get married before. I don't need you to. I don't need to see this. I don't know. I don't know if her mom is right or wrong. Um, I would want to believe as a mom, if I lost my mate, I'm gonna think about my child and will still want to be there in support of them and not make it about me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that she's gonna want me there, or me in my case, I have a son, so I'm sure he's gonna want me there, especially if his dad is not there, right? So I would think that one would look at it like, well, she doesn't have the luxury of having her father here because that's impossible now. But the least I can do is at least show up, even if I have to leave a day early or later on that night or something. Like, I want to be there for my baby's wedding, right? But I mean, hey, everybody's different, and according to Shawnee, she's 1000% okay with her mama not showing up to the wedding. So if she's cool with it, then it is what it is. Keion and Shawnee also talk about her figuring out her place in the congregation. And I ain't gonna lie, I was looking like Shawnee slick over there thinking to herself, figure out what, I'm not gonna be in this fucking congregation like that, because he's thinking she gonna be helping the women and doing this and hosting that. I said, baby, Shawnee not gonna do all that. The women Shawnee gonna be trying to help is over there on Basketball Wives, okay? The women Shawnee gonna be trying to help gonna be probably the ones that's gonna put a coin in her pocket. I don't see Miss Shawnee down there to the church being no real first lady like that. Not when she was a celebrity first. Like, I don't know. I would like, come on, Monique, Q Monique. I would like to see it. Okay, I would like to see it. But Keion seems like a nice guy for the most part. I don't know. I did see a TikTok. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I saw a TikTok of this lady saying that there's a woman that's missing. I think her name is Shauna Rue. Some. Let me see if I saved that on TikTok. And this was very confusing to me. Girl, one thing about me, I'm not gonna cut my audio down. Let's see. This was a very confusing. Did I save this? Because I'm like, what is going on here? Do I have it? Do I have it? Because it was very confusing. Do I have it? Dang, I did not save it, y'all. Probably because I was over there like, girl, I don't know how true this is. This is giving weird. But the lady name was Shauna Rue, was Sean, something with an S. And she was trying to say that the lady was missing and the person that is responsible for her missing was Mr. Keion. And then saying that the man was out here trafficking the lady or something. I said, now, ma'am, now I don't know this man. I don't know this man at all. But that right, I'm having a hard time. Now, granted, we can't put nothing past nobody. But I'm like, are you sure, ma'am? Who is this person? Like that would take some severe investigating. But I don't know who. What? I'm mad I don't have it, y'all. I'm mad I did not save it because I'm like, what in the what? It's like, lady, you gonna mess around and get sued? You over here accusing this man of having something to do with a woman missing, and then trying to sit up here and say that he trafficking the lady. And I'm just like, this is some weird stuff here. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you just peek over and look at and see what's really going on. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like that. You know, it's so much rumors now. Not just that now Keion got married to Shawnee. It's so many rumors. Shy ever since she got with this man. I don't know which ones to be true. The people said that Shawnee was a side chick from the very beginning. I don't know. Okay. Then next thing you know, y'all trying to say the man over here got somebody missing, child. It's just y'all just it's just a lot going on. It's just a lot going on. Okay. But so far, I mean, he seemed like he could be a nice guy. We don't really know him like that. We only know what's being shown on the television. And it seems like her kids don't mind him at all because he was able to sit with two different um her two oldest sons, I believe, or maybe that was her youngest son, but he was able to sit with both of the sons and let them know, hey, Papa is not here and she's gonna need somebody to walk her down the aisle. So we're gonna need y'all to have a little bit of sense. It was the way that he was talking to them a little bit was giving like he they daddy or something. Now if he was talking to me like that, I'd be like, who are you talking to? Child, you're on the outside of the family. You could barely get in. You're trying to get in the family. Be careful how you talk to me. I'm just giving you a piece of respect out of, the kindness of my heart for my mama. But be careful how you talk to me. But it seems like they have a respect for him. They may like him or whatever like that. But her oldest son, had me so tickled. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm with him on it. Because he's like, oh, that's me. I'm the only person that qualifies to walk you down the aisle. So I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was a cute moment. But I mean the show is okay. It's okay. It was cool. I just checked it out, tuned into it. It wasn't bad. It definitely had some moments of laughter and stuff like that. So it's not a bad show for real. But I want you guys to let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Have you watched the show? Are you going to continue to watch the show? What are your thoughts about Shaquille O'Neal speaking on his past relationship with Shawnee? And knowing that this lady about to, at the time I believe she was engaged and getting ready to get married, right? And what are your thoughts about Shawnee's, response to it? Okay. Hop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about everything that I discussed so far, honey. I'm Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.